Hello and welcome to another exciting episode of the Full Spectrum Podcast. My name is Trey.
I am Rungren.
We got some stuff to talk about tonight. It's actually like a good dispersal is not the name. It's not the word I'm looking for. A good spread. Let's go with that.
We have a
Of
myriad.
yeah, a good myriad of news and announcements and reviews. But before we get into any of that stuff, we have weeks to discuss as
Yeah.
usual. Oh.
Hey, if you're gonna need spoiler Lubu ready. I'm just telling you.
Okay, let me get him ready.
All right, because I got some things to say. Now, not I can start out on this with watching Princess Mononoke, which is my favorite
Okay.
Studio Ghibli. We watched that this
Yeah.
week. Um, yeah, it definitely my favorite. And I noticed something watching it back this week. I was like, and I was trying to think of another movie, kind of like we were trying to think in the pre-show about a movie that's all on a train besides Snowpiercer,
Right.
which I guess they get off at the end technically. But the main character, your protagonist that you meet, the prince,
Mhm.
at the beginning, who shoots the board, gets infected, has to leave, and there is no character arc for him. He is exactly the same, a noble, good
That's
guy
true.
as he is at the end. Everything else around him has the character arc.
Yeah.
That's such a weird way to tell a story. I mean, it
It
works,
is.
obviously, but it's like, okay, the protagonist doesn't change. He is this steadfast. He's a prince. He's gonna do what's right. If he has to be exiled, he cut off his hair and he left.
Yeah.
He didn't argue. He done what was right, and he's always going to do that. And he does it through the whole movie. And he's the same at the end. Everybody else has a change of heart. All the other characters around him grow and change.
That's true.
The whole town's different at the end of it. The forest,
Oh yeah.
everything. So
I guess I hadn't thought about the fact that you're right. Ashitaka is pretty much just himself.
yeah. uh Like I said, I really didn't think about it. I didn't notice it till this time watching it through. I was like, that's kind of cool. All right, now listen. I just rant on too long, but I got some stuff to say. Watch Ghostbusters Afterlife. Now, spoiler Lubu's up.
Yeah. He is there, and I am typing out the spoiler just as a reminder to everybody.
Okay. May not give too much
Movie
away,
spoilers.
but I don't think the woman changed her way, and she lost her arm. She did a little bit. She wasn't quite as vehement
Yeah.
about her dislike of the world around her, what was outside. She's an interesting character too. She does
Mhm.
some great things, some good things, and then she's such a turd at the same time. But Ghostbusters Afterlife. One, thank you for this movie. If anybody had, I don't care if you catered on this movie, if you ever get to hear it, thank you. This was done so well.
Okay.
I'm, I am going to tell you what this movie accomplished. Okay, it sealed up a 30-year story arc. I mean, it's like set good ending for a 30-year story arc.
Right.
I could I could basically say now, hey, there are four new Ghostbusters. Two of them are women. And yes, it fits. It's done. I don't have the adjectives to go over how happy I was with it. And look, it's Ghostbusters. It's not that deep.
Right.
In fact, you start watching the movie, you know how this movie is going to end.
Okay.
But they do the scene so well. They did like so many so many franchises have lost the early fans, so
Yeah.
to speak, or have tried so hard to move the story along and get rid of the old characters
Yeah.
without any respect. You get the scene in this Ghostbusters. That's all. If it's all the old Star Wars fans just would have asked for, and that's with everybody together.
Right.
You know, you get the four original Ghostbusters. It's it's not forced on you. It's natural. It's it knows it's a cameo, I guess,
Okay.
as well, but it still gives a levity. I don't know if you know this. It's the guy who directed it is the son of the guy who directed 1984.
Really?
Yeah, the one from 1984. the
Okay.
Ghostbusters 1984. So it's a family thing handed down. So he did not want to mess it up. Um, I don't know. It was just so consistent with the original Ghostbusters.
Right.
With when they show up, you feel good about it. When the group's there, at the ending, like I said, at the ending of it, you now have, and it wasn't very long. Bill Murray is not in that movie very long.
Right.
You don't see any of the Ghostbusters for very long. The
Right.
original Ghostbusters, they are there when they're needed. They wrap up the scene. Like I said, they wrap up 30 years of story. They can go anywhere with
Right.
this now. They can do TVs. They can do movies. It was such a respectful handover. I don't know how else to say it.
Yeah.
It's like this is what you want to move it on and give new characters a new generation. Look, like I said with the Star Wars thing, put Chewie and Han and Luke and Leia, put and C-3PO, R2D2,
Yeah.
all and the cock of the Millennium Falcon.
Yeah. And you're
You
good.
know, yeah, get the story of that, and there's a way to hand it over, and I just wish. And it's just look, it's bigger than just this because the respect given to the old fans and the respect given to new fans,
Right.
going on. How many how many IPs have just turned? You want to talk about the last Airbender
Yeah.
movie? You know,
Oh.
I know I pick on Star Wars a bit, but there's time and time and time and time again where you can point out that they failed the franchise.
Yeah.
You know, I know I do love the movie as a kid, but like Transformers the movie is probably one of
Yeah.
the first things that did it. Kind of failed the franchise.
Right. It's a
But
very different take on that franchise. It's a very good movie, but it's
yeah,
not Transformers in a lot of ways. I
well,
love it.
they wanted to sell new toys.
Yeah.
The but okay, so here's where the spoiler is going to come in a little bit. Okay,
Okay.
because obviously the actor who played Egon has passed away.
Right.
Um, he's a ghost in this one.
Okay.
His
Okay.
character's a ghost in this one.
Yeah.
And in the and look, I know that a bit of a spoiler and everything, but there's a lot more to it in the final. Like I said, the final scene where you get the four Ghostbusters,
Right.
and who. There's two people that stepped in. And I won't ruin this. There's two people that stepped in to play to stand in for for Egon.
Right.
And go that and just who it was really really cool.
Okay.
Because there's two different ones. Um, I don't want to give too much away. If you love, I don't care if because obviously I'm old enough to remember when the first movie came out.
Right.
In the library scene and how awesome it was. The
Yeah.
ghost in the library scaring the living crap out of me when I was a little kid. You know, and just to have it handed back now, much later, as
Yeah.
I'm much older now, handed back to me and going, hey, this was a wonderful thing you enjoyed. I want you to know that from the creators and everybody had everything to do with it. Want you to know that we loved it too,
Right.
and we want a future for this.
Yeah.
And yeah, man, they pulled it off.
So it's not like the most recent before this Ghostbusters then.
Well, look, I'm going to leave that one alone because that is in another universe.
Yeah.
That is what the creators say. That is technically a completely different universe.
I meant more of just in the
Oh
fact of
yeah,
it actually
Gozer. Oh,
is a Ghostbuster movie instead of
yes, it is. It. I know.
yeah.
And yes, I could go. I could, but I don't want to take away
Yeah, no,
from.
that's fair. That's fair.
I don't want to take away from what they did with Afterlife. Yeah,
Yeah.
and Gozer. I realize I have issue. Gozer is so hot in both in '84 and this one. Olivia Wilde plays Gozer this time around.
Okay.
God, and that was another. And here's another thing. The casting is spot on.
Yeah.
Yeah, everybody fills their role perfectly. And of course, we've had discussions about other movies where this was, the case
Right.
that the casting kind of made the movie,
Yes.
or helped make the movie. And this is the casting crew did a great job. I don't know.
That's good.
This is with everything coming back up. There's a way to do it,
Right.
and it's been proved again. Yeah,
Yeah.
I could say that I could say the same thing for the 2002 Scooby Doo movie though, live
Right.
action movie.
Yeah.
You know,
That's a
hey,
great movie.
That's a great movie.
Mhm.
It's original. And anyway, so I'll leave that alone.
Before we move on
I
from
don't-
Ghostbusters, real quick, I
Yeah.
just wanted to mention if there's anybody that has not seen the original yet and wants to, after you watch the original, you need to go watch Corridor Digital breakdown of
Yeah.
that scene in the dining room.
Mm.
The way that they
Hey,
did those practical effects are amazing for
amazing.
when that
Yeah.
first movie came out.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, that's the same way they did the effects for this movie.
Ah, yeah,
In
yeah.
fact, you know the scene when Gozer, Roger Spears, and all the spirits come
Mhm.
flying through the sky over New York City? Yeah. What they did is they took those scenes and used those effects over when it was happening
Awesome.
in this one.
That's awesome.
There's they give nods to the old Saturday morning cartoon.
Okay, that's good. That's good.
Seriously,
Yeah,
it's like everything about that little Ghostbusters that's good about Ghostbusters. They said,
yeah.
yeah, we're gonna give credit to that,
That's
and
great.
we're gonna move the story forward. Yeah, I can't recommend it high enough if you're a fan of 1984, whether you're old enough to remember it or it's just you watched it later as a kid.
Yeah, that's
It's
great.
it it's really worth it.
That's really
I
good. I'm
think.
glad to hear it. I was hoping it
Have you
would
get-
be.
Yeah. All right. I'm gonna let that go so we can move on.
Okay. Well, I mean, if we're talking about stuff that we watched,
Yeah.
I've seen a couple little things, by which I mean episodes of The
Mm.
Expanse, because I'm still watching that.
Still going through that, right on.
And it's not
Which is no longer the Expanse.
uh I'm gonna leave spoiler Lubu up for a second,
Okay.
and I'm just gonna say if there's four main characters in the books that are on the main ship. I have not finished the final book, as I've said, but up to where I am in the final book, everybody fine. In the last episode of the show of the season that I'm on, they killed off one of those four main characters,
I bet this will shock them.
and it turns out it's because of the actor.
Mm.
And
Now,
so
before I say that, I don't want to judge him. I don't know
they
what's going
have
on.
they have actor did some stuff to some women probably shouldn't have done.
All right, never mind.
But earlier on, a couple seasons back, they had replaced an actor with a different actor, which just not even brought it up. Just it's a different person now playing this character. They could have just done that again. That'd be preferable to. They killed him off in the worst way. It's insulting, is what it is. Like this character basically is masterclass in what they do, and they died to like a simple mistake in what they do.
Yeah.
And it's like it's supposed to like they even make a comment of like this was a risk that could have happened at any point, you know? The Train to Busan remake, ugh. I'm gonna watch it, but Train to Busan is one of my 5 favorite movies of all time, and I'm not excited for the Train to Brooklyn or whatever it's gonna be.
Oh my gosh.
But that's
we talk.
adaptations, right?
Well, I think it would have the exact same conversation about this that we had about another remake. That's a very special movie. I can't remember what it was.
Well, The Raid's getting a remake.
The Raid. The
Yeah.
Raid. That's what it was. I was like, look,
Yep.
that movie. There's so much that's special about that. Yeah.
Yep.
Anyway, I feel the same way about Train to Busan. No,
Yeah.
it's
I will say before I put down spoiler Lubu, I can go and put him down. I will say if you enjoy the show of The Expanse, I'm glad. There are still some really good things about it, but 100% you should read the books.
Mm.
There is a whole segment on Earth that happens in the 5th season, and that same book that it correlates to, that you get like highlights of it in the TV show, and that's like a good half of the book, and it's a very good section. So it was kind of a shame to see all that relegated, and again, characters that are just acting very different than they do in the book, and some being completely reused in other ways. One of them was made into a racist for some reason when they weren't before. Look, I don't know what they're doing anymore. I'm gonna finish the show because there's only one season left. You know, I'm gonna finish it just so I can say that I did. But yeah, not. I was very positive on it in the beginning.
Yes.
Not so
I
positive
remember.
on it now, and I think my full rating when it's done will probably, I'm gonna do a video on it because I have to. Will probably just be like a 5 out of 10. You know,
Okay. Dang.
we'll see. I think
All right.
if I didn't have my own preconceived notions about who these characters are, I
Yeah.
say preconceived as if I made them up. I mean the ones that I literally read off the page.
Well, it's the
It
ones the
probably would be
author
like a
gave you.
7. Yeah, it's what the author told me they were. You know, and they aren't
Yeah.
that here. So
Gotcha.
a
All
little bummer, but I
right.
have been busy with some other stuff though.
All right. What you got?
I have some more 40K to show off.
Oh, yes.
I started on the Sisters Kill team, even though really I
Okay.
should be working on my Blood Angels, but started on the Sisters Kill team, and I
All
have
right.
Sisters of Battle here. Camera is supposed to autofocus on the sister and not me.
It doesn't
There
like
it
it doesn't
goes.
like it.
There it
Oh, that's
goes.
better. Oh yeah.
Very
She
cool.
looks awesome.
I think just leave it alone. I agree.
Yeah. Yes.
Uh,
Yeah.
this one has a grenade in her other hand and actually had like 2 different poses for the
Mm.
grenade where you could have it where she's pulling the pin, but I gave her the mask instead in case I want to run it as a smoke grenade.
Oh.
And so
Strategy.
this one has the heavy flamer. Come on, camera.
That looks cool.
Come on, camera. It'll look cooler when you
Me
can
too.
make out the
I know.
detail. Camera. Camera.
No.
I'm about to turn
It's
off
not
the
gonna do.
autofocus.
Yeah.
Well,
It comes in a little bit.
all right. I guess
Well,
that's what we
it
get.
looks like the belt feg. The bit's belt feg going around to her back. Yeah.
Yeah, that
That's
was
cool.
such a pain
I
to
like
connect
that.
to her backpack. Such a pain. And then I have I have the Sister Superior. This is their boss, the lady in charge.
Oh heck yeah!
She's got a power sword and a bolt gun, a crossbow bolt gun, basically.
Very
Very
nice,
cool.
man.
And then
Very nice.
finally, this is half the kill team now, including this last one. There's 5 more I got to put together for it. Finally, Icon Bearer.
Dude, that looks delicate up there at the top.
Yeah, that took a lot of work. That was like almost an hour to make sure that it was all together right, set,
Yeah.
but it's
Wow.
very cool. There's a chest in there that I had to put together and everything.
Ah.
Very, very proud of how they turned out. Once we start to, again, I want to play a couple matches of Kill Team before we start recording them, but by that point, we will have Necrons, Space Marines, Veteran Guardsmen, Commandos for Orcs, the Thousand Sons, and the Sisters of Battle. And then I have some Custodians coming in. So we'll have 7 different combinations of kill teams that can be done in matches.
Very nice. Very nice.
Pretty
Very
good.
nice. Yeah.
Got to get them all painted
cool,
at some
man.
point, but you know.
Yeah. God, that's a lot of work.
Yeah.
That's a lot of work, sir.
Yeah, you know, we're on to the sisters part now.
Heck yeah.
And then I've been playing some games. What about you? You been playing some games?
I have. I got to my girlfriend and I went through the Scott Pilgrim game.
Yeah.
She got that a while back on sale. The complete edition.
Right.
They released it. Was that last year or year before last? Anyway, they might be longer than that. Shoot, I don't know. But anyway, we went through it. It was a lot of fun, man. It's I wish there was a little bit more to it.
Yeah.
It's almost like, and this, of course, I'm biased. It's almost like I'd rather just, hey, can we play Double Dragon?
Yeah.
You know, but it's fun. There's a lot of like about it, but it's so systematic because you know
Friday.
once you get it Black Friday, okay, so once you get it figured out, you can kind of break the game pretty easy.
Yeah.
But it's a lot of fun, and you know if you find it on sale, I definitely think it's worth getting to go through. They take one Scott Pilgrim's got a lot of old school video game stuff in there and stuff from the 80s, kind of like Ready Player One, right? It's got a lot of references to bygone times, the late 1900s. The
Yeah.
uh, a lot of references to that, and they keep true to that. It's light on story. It's pretty simple. A couple ways you can go about it. There's a couple unlocks.
Right.
It's got codes you can put in for different things, just like some other up, down, down, left, right.
Yeah.
B, you know, I think kills you but you'll get $50 for it or something like that. So it's a fun game.
Yeah.
Um, I don't think I'd have played it by myself.
Right.
So there is that. So, but it
There are
was
definitely
cool.
some beat 'em ups that I would play solo, but I personally agree. I haven't played the complete edition. I just played the original, like 360 release way back when. But
It's really. If you've played that and you've still got that, go back and play that again. I don't see the point in getting the complete edition. I don't
right.
think there's anything there that. And look, it's not the complete edition. I'll make one gripe because it's Ubisoft, right?
Right.
You have to sign into your Ubisoft account to get knives. You have to link to the
Why?
Ubisoft. Yeah, I mean, it's completely different. But you pay, I think if you're paying full price for this, you're paying $15.
Yeah.
I think that's the average, the normal price for it. And yeah, it's just kind of come on.
I think I paid 15 because I think it came out at 15 on
Mm,
XBLA, Xbox Live Arcade. And then the Knives
yeah.
DLC was $5 when it first came out. The Knives Chow.
Mm, I don't know.
That was 7 or 8 years ago, maybe more than that now.
Yeah, it was a
You
while
know?
back.
Oh.
The okay, something's going on outside.
Oh.
Here's a fire truck going down the highway out there.
Oh no.
I also played It Takes Two. We're
Okay.
working. Yeah, me and my girlfriend are working our way through that. We spent way too much time on it last night. It's a fun, interesting game. I want to punch a book in the face. I don't know if you've
Yeah.
played it, or if anybody's played it, but if you do, you'll understand that reference. I want to punch a book in the face. So, but I'll talk about more of that. I want to go through there, and yeah, ugh, I know I paid for it today. I want to beat it before I really
Yeah.
give it a full discussion going through. But I imagine you said you got a couple games in as well.
Yeah. I finished Endwalker.
Oh, nice.
And I
So you
think I
still got
mentioned before that it was on track to be like my favorite Final Fantasy. Stuck
yes,
the landing.
3 things left. Okay.
It didn't just stick the landing; it blew the landing out of the water. That's the
That's
best
awesome.
ending to a Final Fantasy game I've ever seen.
Oh, well,
Uh,
well, sir.
yeah, and I'm not trying to put it up on a pedestal,
Oh,
but
excuse me.
I'll put it this way. When I finished Trails in the Sky second chapter last year, it
Okay.
became in my top 5 immediately, and the review was like 40 minutes long because I had so much I wanted to talk about. The review for Endwalker is only like 20 minutes, and at some point towards the end of it, I go, I could say more, but realistically, I'm just going to be repeating myself.
Gotcha.
This game's good. Go play it. And it's 100%. It is very subjective. I'll be the first to admit that. The core the core drive of the story is, I don't know if I should spoil that or not, but it is very much in line with one of my own personal
Okay.
beliefs. I'll put it this way. Getting back up again when you fall is a very important theme of this expansion of Endwalker.
Mm-hmm.
And that is very important to me as a person. I'm 100% am one of those people that's like, if you fall down 7 times, stand up 8, It 100% is like the core theme of this expansion. And so it resonated with me on a very personal level. And I love it. Also,
That's awesome, man.
one of my favorite things in video games is to get to explore one specific kind of thing. Why I love Dark Souls. I'm trying not to spoil too much. Towards the end of Endwalker, they let you explore 6 of those things. And they're all great.
Oh man.
So, I truly do wish that Endwalker was a standalone thing where people could just play it on their own.
Mm.
Because I get it. Having to go through a base game and 3 full expansions to get to Endwalker. That's a lot to ask.
Yeah, I want to. I got into characters on Lotro, and I kind of want to start over because I love the storyline.
Yeah.
I'll do that. If they had a thing where I could just like take my, I know all the quests would be great, but I could
Yeah.
just like, all right, I'm gonna reset my story. I would get it.
Yeah.
And just do that. But that, yeah, there's some sections in there,
Hmm.
very long.
Yeah. So realistically, when it comes down to it, probably should mention this now. Game of the year. I've made my decision. I'm not going to finish Echoes of the Eye. I finished Endwalker. I'm gonna record Game of the Year next week. I want to put like 1 or 2 more hours into a couple other games that came out last year, and then I'll just record the whole thing. Because Endwalker, spoilers, I guess. It's my personal Game of the Year. But I won't let it win Game of the Year because it is an expansion. It'll be in my top 10,
fair.
but that'll make
Fair.
things a little interesting for the video. So you have to watch that to see what really won.
And look, and just saying, there could be a new category, best expansion.
Could be. But I also put some more time into Pokemon Legends Arceus.
All right. You got a mount yet? Do you have a mount yet?
I have a bunch of mounts.
Oh, sweet. Okay.
So the game, I understand now a little bit of what some of the complaints in the reviews were. The game 100% does lock things behind story progression and Pokedex completion. I got far enough in the story, far enough, where I had a new area I could go to, and I was so excited to get to go to it. And they were like, but you need to rank up your Pokedex first. And I was like, okay. I'll go back and evolve some of my lower level Pokemon. It's fine. It won't take long. But story is actually pretty good. I'm enjoying it.
Right on.
And the mounts are incredible. I think the mounts are the best done mounts that I've ever seen in a video game.
That's nice because look, there's been so many games that could have had a cool mount and they've just ruined it. It has not worked.
You know how in every game when you have a mount, you do like a whistle or something so that you call it to you? Yeah. And then you have to have the animation of climbing on it, and then you have to have the animation of getting off of it, or you could jump off of it, In this game, you press the button and it just appears underneath you.
Let's get this going. Come on.
Yeah. You can dash. And so, slight spoilers, I guess, but realistically, it's just mechanics. You get a water mount and a land mount. You get a couple land mounts, but you get a water mount and a land mount. And if you're dashing and you hit the water, it automatically switches to the water mount. If you jump out of the water and land on the land, it automatically switches to the land mount. And if you're dashing, in the process of any of that, you're automatically dashing on the other mount.
Right on.
No other video game from now on can make me go back to like slow climb, get on, start gaining speed. This is the new standard. It feels so good to just like blitz across the map.
Keep going. Yeah. This is the way to travel.
It's so good. And like the mounts aren't perfect. You can still take damage on them, of course. So you have to be careful with that. If they get hit by a Pokemon attacking you, then you'll get knocked off. If you get too close to an alpha Pokemon, they'll roar and knock you off. But realistically, these are the best mounts I've ever seen. So I'm good.
Well.
I just want to run around on them, And what makes it really cool, too, is you can use the mounts to get from one area of the map to the other. And then because you can see the Pokemon in the distance, you can hop off the mount when you get close enough so that you can go to catch them.
This just makes the fact that like higher levels are locked behind story and stuff like that even worse.
Yeah.
Because I like wandering into an area where I'm not supposed to be.
Right.
Bagging up some bigger experience or making the game a little bit harder on me.
I do think there's an issue with the water mount.
Okay.
You can't swim, so you have to use the water mount to like go across the water. And there are Pokemon, of course, fish Pokemon and water Pokemon in the water, and that mount is not quiet. So as you get closer to them, you have to battle them. You can't just throw a Pokeball and catch them. Some of them you can get onto an island and like crouch and throw. But pretty much, if they're on the water, you're gonna have to battle them.
I wonder if anything like unlocks that later on.
Could be. Could be. And I'm hoping you get to fly later on, because another complaint I have is that climbing with the land mounts is not fun. They have a jump, and if you can jump to the next tier, you're great. But otherwise, climbing does not work like Skyrim. You're just running up against that mountain. Whereas you can climb on foot, so you have to get off the mount to climb, which is, annoying. I'd like to be able to just fully transition.
Mm.
Well, maybe flight. Nice.
Well, get a goat.
Yes. There are goat Pokemon, so,
Hey,
I also like that you unlock the mounts by doing boss fights. Because Pokemon's never really had boss fights before. It's had, you fight this tough trainer, right? That's your boss fight.
What the only one I'm thinking of, I haven't played near as many Pokemon games. I haven't completed hardly any. Yeah, you mentioned that. I'm like, oh yeah, the only because that's why in Pokemon Go, the going to a gym.
Yeah.
That was that was close to a boss fight.
Right.
I thought that was kind of unique. Yeah, okay, that does make. Yeah, I never thought about it that way. Yeah, true.
I like these. This is a good game. This game continues to be good.
Right on, man.
I have my complaints. Again, the fact that I had to get the Pokedex completion, which means I went back and just caught a bunch of Wurmples to complete their section. And then I beat up some Ponytas. And they go to run from you too, so you have to crouch behind them and then surprise attack them with your Pokemon and just murder them. And it feels kind of bad,
that's what it takes to be a hero.
That's right. But sometimes you can catch multiple Pokemon in a fight, and then it's easy because you just knock them all out, and then you get your Pokedex completion.
Well, maybe they'll come to a point where you come to a mirror and you can review your actions.
Maybe. I mean, it happens in... I was about to say a game. It was a big spoiler for that game. It's an older game, though. You've probably played it. It's a Final Fantasy game. I do think that one cool thing, I'll say this before I move on, just in case people are worried that the Pokedex is going to take forever. If you have a see this Pokemon use this specific move, and you have caught that Pokemon, and you are battling with that Pokemon, it counts when you use the move too.
Interesting.
Which I think is very nice. Because it means that I don't have to just go fight a bunch of EVs. I can go fight whatever and use Quick Attack with my EV, and it still completes the Pokedex entry.
Cool.
Game's good.
Hold on, man. I'll look to hear what you have to say after you've seen the credits.
Yeah, I'm interested too. From there, though, unless you have anything else in your weeks, we'll move to reviews.
Yeah, let's do it.
And we're going to start this week with Dying Light 2. It's probably the biggest one. Stay human. As a reminder, last week the winners were Rungren and Waverly. You want to win some ice cream? I say win ice cream, but realistically, I just mean if you want to be on the board. Your name...
You want your picture?
Could be here. All you got to do is guess the scores.
All right. So Dying Light 2.
Drop the X.
Get the X.
There we go.
Stay human.
So, this is the sequel to Dying Light 1, obviously.
Right.
It is a game about the Zambinos, as it were.
Mm-hmm.
In a city, and you can do a lot of parkour. The first one is very well beloved, even though it did have some rough bugs on launch. They definitely hammered it out and got it really, really solid. People really like the first game.
Yeah. Oh.
Now, it should mention, this game was supposed to come out December of last year. It was pushed back for some final changes, and has just now came out.
So... what do people think about it? Let's see. You know what? I'm going to give it.
Not me to push that button.
I think I'm going to go with 78.
78?
78, yes.
Okay. We got an 89 from Faith.
Mm-hmm.
75 from Waverly.
Look there.
I will give you... The answer is 77.
Ooh. That's close. That was close.
ACG says,
Hey, I think Will got it.
yeah, Will did get it.
Will
77
got it
then.
then. Yeah.
All right, Will. Get your
Yeah.
name up there.
Dun dun dun. Ice cream.
Will, it's two W or two W's, two L's, right?
Oh man.
Congrats. Congratulations. So ACG says wait for a sale.
Fair.
Which is always interesting.
Yeah.
I want to read off some of the more interesting reviews first. Two W's, that's right. That's how we spell it from now on, right? Basically, I just want to read this to you, and I want you to tell me if this is helpful at all. If you were going to buy a game like on Amazon, right, and you go down to the reviews and you see this, because Game Informer says Techland has crafted a monster of a sequel that is bigger and better in almost every way.
No, that's the statement. Read the review. That's a statement
Right.
from the company.
Yeah.
That's not a review.
Exactly. That's at most I would say that's the header for the review, right?
Yeah, right. That's it, huh?
Yeah, that's the review.
Wow.
Dual Shockers says, there's no doubt about it, Dying Light 2 Stay Human is a sequel of epic proportions. Everything fans loved about the original title is still very much present, but now with a bigger story, new features, and a vast open world filled with areas to explore and loot. Which, again, sounds like marketing from...
Yeah, so we've got the sticker on the front of the box. Now we've got the blurb from the back of the box.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Can you read something from the instruction pamphlet, please?
Now? I have one more of those for you, and then we'll move on to actual reviews. And this one is from, where did I put it? It's...
Stupid.
Attack of the Fanboy. Yeah, okay. Dying Light 2 is a bigger and bolder sequel that improves upon the original in every way. Not only does it have one of the most enjoyable traversal systems in any game ever, but it also provides players with interesting characters and quests to break up all the running.
They all hired the same person on Fiverr. One paid 5, one paid 10, one paid 15.
The actual reviews here. But why though says its combat is as brutal as one would hope, while bringing the mechanical density and numerous options to engage any type of player. Its narrative is gripping, with veins of humanity throughout that make it nearly impossible not to get invested in. While sometimes feeling a bit sluggish, or as though they just need a tiny bit more tuning, its new mechanics have brought new life to the series in a monumental way.
Okay. At least, I believe that they've played it.
Yeah, this was a person. And we try not to just bring that up every time it happens, but anytime there's a big release, there's at least 5 of those that are just, I really want our name on the back of the box, so could you say something that they'll put on the box, please? Could you do that? Could you? Thanks. PC Gamer says, an underwhelming story, but a massive, exciting sandbox of parkour and kinetic combat. What is kinetic combat? I would argue all combat's kinetic combat.
It seemed to be. I'm trying to figure out how you have static combat. I guess that would be a staring contest, right?
A turn-based RPG where you don't actually move to attack. The number just goes down. Our friends over at IGN Italy says, it's a good action game full of content and potential, but it would benefit from a vigorous technical smoothing.
Technical smoothing. Okay.
So I'm assuming that means that technically it's got some issues. And that's confirmed when we look at Twinfinite, who says, overall, though, I enjoyed my time with Dying Light 2 and found it an entertaining open-world experience that I want to keep playing beyond the 30 or so hours I put into the main storyline. Techland has plans to support Dying Light 2 with 5 years of post-launch DLC, which is a pledge I'm certain it will deliver given its resume with the original. My hope, then, is that its future content doubles down on the intrigue of the new choice consequence-branching dialogue, but delivers better and more varied questing to make the unfolding of these stories more engaging.
All right.
And I got one more for you, and then we'll let you guess some scores.
All right.
I've read some super positive, the middling. I want to leave you with the Guardians review.
All right.
If you've played a Zambambi game in the past decade, this mishmash of tattered post-apocalyptic stereotypes will feel all too familiar.
Mm. Yeah. Yeah. Well, there could be merit in that argument. I'm not
There
gonna
could
lie.
be. There could be.
Okay. I think I know what I'm gonna go with for my.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna give him a 71.
Okay.
That's gonna be my guess. 71.
Got a 72
See-
and a 75 in the chat.
Ooh,
69
69.
from Faith.
Yeah, Faith Ann says it's bad.
The
What
Axe
you
said
got?
we
What
could
you got?
go. The answer is 70.
Oh man, golly! Wow, we hit all around it.
Yep.
I said shoot around their nose, not up it.
It seems like most people like the game, but it definitely seems to have some technical problems, and then it seems like it is just more of Dying Light 1, depending on, if you like Dying Light 1, probably going to like Dying Light 2.
Okay.
Real quick, I want to mention, too, the reason we're not covering Lost Ark this week, even though review embargo is up on Lost Ark, people can already review it. The game is not only not out, most outlets have not yet submitted their scores. So
Fair.
it would, in my opinion, it would be a bad idea to review it now when we will only have like 5 or 6 reviews to go through.
Yeah, no, put it off. Put it off.
It comes out on the 11th, so it'll be next week.
All right.
Next up is a little title called Sifu.
Yeah. Yeah.
And this is a pretty interesting game in a lot of ways. People have been looking forward to it for a while. It is a martial arts game coming out for PS5, PS4, and PC. Lot of pre-release coverage, and then not a lot of post-release coverage so far. I don't know if that means the game is long, or if it means the game's bad, but
that's not a good sign, really.
No. But it has a lot of reviews. I'll tell you that without spoiling anything. I'll tell you it has a lot of reviews.
All right. I'm gonna take a guess on what these people are gonna be saying. I know a little bit about this game, and especially that there's not a lot of stuff after the release. You know what? I think they're having a bad time with it. I think it's gonna be like a 67.
Okay.
I think they're having a bad time with it. I'm gonna say 67. Got a 75 from Will, 70 from Faith, and a 72 from Waverly.
Score is 79.
Okay. That's not terrible. Not terrible. That's not bad.
ACG says buy.
Really?
Hmm?
Okay. Makes me wonder about the coverage on the backside, but go ahead.
I think this is going to be a really interesting one to read reviews for because I will put it this way. I'm on YouTube a lot for the sake of this channel, right? I'm watching other creators. I'm trying to see what people are talking about, trying to see what games are hitting it big, whole circle, right?
All right.
No one is covering this game. But
yeah, strange.
Keep that in mind when I read these reviews for you, because I'm not gonna sit here and tell you it's a bad game. I haven't played it.
Right.
I don't understand what's going on.
Yeah, no, we're just making fun of reviews right now. But go ahead.
Right. But why though says Sifu is surprisingly difficult at a level that will deter most players. However, getting past that wall will reward you with an amazingly crafted game that stays true to the developer's vision, one that celebrates kung fu and its core meaning.
Okay.
Games Radar says Sifu is a gorgeous, original, and intelligent brawler whose self-confidence is leveraged by its masterful aging mechanic and super tight combat.
All right.
We have PC Gamer who says Sifu will test your patience, but learning how to coolly dismantle a room full of goons with virtual kung fu is worth the pain.
All right.
IGN Italy says Sifu is an uncompromising and merciless fighting game. For this very reason, it manages to give great satisfaction.
Okay.
I have The Gamer here. This one's an interesting one. As someone who adores games like Spelunky for forcing the player to digest every bit of information, Sifu strikes that exact same spot with the force of a freight train, delivering a combat system that is truly unrivaled. As a game, it's one of the most engaging I've played in some time. It's just a shame that it won't appeal to all players thanks to its surprising difficulty, and that it took some developmental liberties with representing Asian voices.
Man, okay. That call out there at the end, I'm not going to put a lot of credit in.
Yeah.
I would have to have more information than
Yes,
that.
I'm right there with you.
On that, because there's a lot of Asian voices. That's not
right.
I don't know. Yeah,
I
definitely
have,
a little more on that before I use that as a call out.
Yeah, I agree. I have 2 more for you.
Okay.
Twinfinite says, overall, I was pretty disappointed with Sifu. I know that it's an excellent game. The combat is tight, feels really fluid, and is going to provide a nice challenge for people who want one. However, its gameplay loop and punishing aging system and multiplier, mixed with a lack of proper training and tutorial elements, ruined whatever enjoyment I felt at the start.
All right.
6-axis, a very different thing depending on if I put the X in there or not. Sifu is a game that I wanted to love. I had high hopes for it being one of my Game of the Year contenders, but it left me feeling intensely deflated instead. It's a game that confuses the precise mechanical difficulty of Sekiro with a forced difficulty brought on by simply giving bosses armor. I find myself irrationally angry with Sifu. Sifu is a game that had exceptional potential, but squandered it on the wrong lessons.
All right, I'm still thinking low on this recommended score, so I'm going 68
Okay.
with this. We got a couple people already made up their mind.
Yeah.
They put in
78 and 81.
81.
Let's see what the score is. And then I have a theory as to why we're not seeing people cover it. Yeah. There goes to 69.
69, and Waverly was 72.
Okay. Score is 80%.
Man, that's not what they said in their reviews.
So I think my personal theory is that most people seem to like it. But it's so close, Faith. But the game is very difficult. And so it's tough to say where they want to put it. And I personally feel like, having not played it myself, that people are giving a better score or recommending more, even if they personally struggle with it, because they recognize that it is well made. That's also why I think we're probably not getting a lot of coverage on YouTube. It's a niche game for niche audience. Yeah, it's a hard game, and so, not to be rude, but if you can't beat a hard game, why would you cover it? You know, I feel like there are people that are playing it and would normally be covering games on YouTube that are going, yeah, I can't show this gameplay, and just aren't showing it. You know, because like
Maybe.
It's weird difficulty with video games. Like if you suck at Cuphead, I'm gonna be as nice as I can be. You don't put that video on the internet, right? But if you suck at Souls, that's fine. People watch that. People love that.
Yeah.
And so like until Sifu finds a set, where's it gonna be? You know, I don't think people are gonna upload them failing over and over again. And that's what you get here on our channel. You get somebody unafraid to showcase his own failings. That. Literally, I don't mean to just like derail here, but I do, I guess. That Minecraft hardcore attempt that I did, where my keyboard stopped working, I could have thrown that footage away. I could have just got rid of that and made a new one. But I think there's something genuine in failure that I think should be shown. I don't think we should hide our failures.
No.
You know?
No, not at all. Not at all.
So upload your videos of you playing Sifu. That's what I'm saying. Sitting at home and you recorded yourself playing Sifu and you think you suck, upload it anyway. Because guess what?
Right.
Sometimes we all suck. Just a little bit.
Yeah. All right. This I have heard nothing about this next game.
Let's talk OliOli World.
Yeah. The last time I heard the word Ollie, Tony Hawk's Pro Skater.
Yeah.
So let's see what this is about.
So
what the heck is
OliOli and OliOli 2 are like well-loved arcade-style skateboarding games, like side-scrollers. OliOli World is attempting to make a much bigger game in that same world.
Okay.
People have been looking forward to this one for a while. Not a lot of competition in this space in gaming.
Yeah.
Skateboarding games. I guess Skatebird came out, but that's the last one, really.
Yeah.
Before that was the Pro Skater 1 and 2 re-releases.
Which it took a lot. Look, there were probably more, but it took a lot of healing after Tony Hawk Pro Skater 5. You know that we had to take time.
Yeah.
So it's good these are coming out again. Oh, that will hurt.
It did. But people really seem to like OliOli 1 and 2. What do you think the score is for OliOli World?
I'm gonna get 81. I think people are jumping around this. And we got a 78 from Faith Ann.
All right. For anybody that's new to the game, we push the button. You have until the light turns green to submit your lesson or your score, your lesson. This is a test.
Yes, it is.
86. It is a test.
86. Jogga got 71.
Next time we can go. The answer is 86. Waverly got it again. She's on the board twice now.
Congratulations.
And I should mention for anybody who's like, well, how am I supposed to know what the recommended score is? It's a guess.
It's a guess.
It's all a guess. Because realistically, we all, I think like the core of this game is that we all recognize that the system is garbage. It doesn't make sense. But it's fun to try and figure out if people lied or not.
Well, I guess it's a night for the W's.
Yeah.
All right.
All right. ACG did not review this one, but I have a very interesting. Eurogamer gave it an essential rating, as in you have to play this.
Okay. Sounds like they like the game.
We don't cover a lot of reviews from them, but I love this blurb from I love this blurb from IGN Korea. While focusing on the main aspect of their gameplay, it's also determined to keep its mainstream accessibility. The game has a full-on 90s platformer vibe alongside a smooth skateboarding experience. It's their third consecutive title to show off, and Roll7 has unearthed the potential of a great level design to make sure the players get the maximum freedom within the game. The best thing about OliOli World is the countless interactions and the thrill of enjoyment while riding a skateboard. They kept the philosophy that skateboard riding can be one of the most enjoyable things a person could experience, all while providing the freedom to the players to bring out their own creativity while riding. The gameplay itself may not be the most unique or extravagant, but the collection of ideas alone could prove that the player experience is the utmost priority for a video game.
That's pretty high praise, man.
Very high praise. I will say it feels like they like skateboarding. I want to preface that.
Okay.
But if I want somebody to tell me about a skateboarding game, I probably would want somebody that likes skateboarding to tell me about a skateboarding game.
Yeah.
So, very good there. Next up, we have Games Radar. And Games Radar says, OliOli World expands the series formula with great success, effortlessly generating competition with a relentless sense of forward momentum. Which doesn't really tell me much other than that they like it.
Short, yeah. I mean, forward momentum. Are they trying to make a pun for the skateboarding game? I don't know.
I think so.
Sounds like a bad headline or lead in for a news story.
If you want some bad puns, Twinfinite says anyone who loved the first two games is going to go nuts for this one as it kickflips the franchise forward in just about every way.
All right. Yeah, well.
Yep. Kakachopare, however, brings in a pretty interesting blurb with, long story short, Roll7 has a veritable and unique indie hit in their hands. OliOli World is the mainstream-style 2D skating game that's a culmination of the design lessons the team has gone through with its OliOli prequels.
Okay. That's a straightforward review there.
Yeah. Let me read you one more here. This one's from TechRaptor.
All right.
Pun headlines, an elective journalism subject. I wish. But most of them try.
Oh,
Can you imagine if we tried to count how many bad puns we read over the course of this podcast?
Oh, man. I don't. It sounds like a terrible drinking game.
Yeah. So, TechRaptor says OliOli World plays just as great as its extreme sports predecessors. but its pandering presentation makes the whole package feel like a letdown. And I read their review, and I don't know what they mean.
Package letdown. I don't know. I don't know. But I feel this could be recommended pretty well. I think it's gonna be about 83.
Yeah. Okay.
On this. So I'm gonna go with 83. We got 85 and 87 from Will and Faith.
Gen Z pandering is the phrase they use in their review, and that's the closest that they don't actually explain what that means.
Yeah.
Maybe it's because they use skater lingo.
Like, I don't know. That's kind of a weird thing.
I don't know.
I mean, if I was gonna make a game right now, who are you making it for?
Right. Yeah.
So we got 87, 85, 87, 80, 82. I came in with an 83.
I don't even really need to push the button, but I'm gonna push it anyway because I like watching the red light turn to green.
Yeah, no, that makes it official. Everybody put a score in.
Yeah. The correct answer is 96%.
Wow.
Which makes me think only Tech Raptor said no when asked if they would recommend it.
I guess so. That's a really high recommended score.
Yes. If it continues with that recommended score, it will be in the top of the year. If it holds that.
Golly.
That is nuts to me because I did not think OliOli World was going to come out swinging like that.
Hey, they get the formula right. The formula's right.
It is currently in the 94th percentile of games scored on OpenCritic entirely, like of all video games.
Because that's good, man.
Nothing gets that, you know?
Hey, props to the small developer. That's
for sure.
Cool.
I mean, if we look back at last year, like Monster Hunter Rise, Ratchet and Clank, Chicory, some of the highest reviewed games. Let me get these scores pulled up here because I just think it's really interesting. If OpenCritic will load them.
No.
OpenCritic?
No.
We manually try this again.
No. They've been listening to us and they're tired of making fun of their review.
Yeah. Probably. Is my internet dead? Are we still connected? What is going on? Why is no
I
tab
got you.
loading?
I'm hearing you. It doesn't. No, you can't have it.
I guess not. Well, if my memory serves, Monster Hunter Rise had like an 82 for recommended, and it was one of the highest rated games for the year. So it is nuts to see a 96% like that. That is crazy.
Oh, indie skating game. Well, hey. Maybe we'll check back in with it.
Yeah, more power to them.
Yeah,
making your skating game, you go for it. I'm not a big skating game guy, but hey, OliOli World might be the thing to pull me in. Who knows?
Absolutely.
From there, we have some announcements.
Yeah, look at those. The one's going to lead to more announcements next week, I'm sure.
Yes, for sure. There's a Nintendo Direct coming next week. A Nintendo Direct coming literally tomorrow on the day this podcast airs. If you're watching this on YouTube, literally today. Yeah, we'll do our reaction to that. Or I'll do my reaction to that as I always do. Won't be live, of course, as usual, because those things are always at bad times. I think my favorite was when they did a Nintendo Direct at the exact time that I had a job interview one time. And I was like, what do I do? Do I call the job and go, hey, I can't come in for the interview. I have to be there for this Direct. So we don't do them live anymore. But specifically, they're going to be showcasing the games coming in the first half of this year.
It should be interesting. This should be interesting. And I'm sure they're going to tease a couple. They got, a couple of big IPs. I'm sure they're going to tease as well.
Do you have any predictions for something that's going to surprise? Because first half means all the way up through July, basically.
It's hard to tell with Nintendo.
Very much is.
Because out of the big three, they're usually the most secretive. So I don't know. If they surprise us with anything, I think it would be some Mario aspect, something to do with that series. To do that, and like I said, I'm sure there's going to be teasers for Breath of the Wild 2.
Yeah.
Silk Song.
I hope beyond hope that Silk Song still gets brought up. I think for sure
Yeah.
we're getting a Monster Hunter Rise section for the expansion that's coming. I think there'll be some stuff for Project Triangle Strategy. I think there will be an update on the new Mario and Rabbids game that's coming.
Yeah.
And then I think we will probably get. I don't think we'll get like Metroid Dread DLC, but I think we'll probably get like a teaser for like Animal Crossing getting some Metroid stuff or something because of how well that sold.
Well, I
I'm really
think
excited
yeah,
for Triangle Strategy.
I think we get some good, some good. I don't. I want. It sounds like I'm dogging these games. I will get some good standard titles, right?
Right.
Then this will be the teaser for the end of year holiday season. We'll get some teasers
I've
for that.
seen some people thinking we're going to get a new Fire Emblem announced. I look.
Well,
I
rumors go
want.
wild right now,
They
right?
do. They do.
You know,
I
even
want there to
Stardew
be a
Valley.
new one,
You know, they're
but
gonna do something with Stardew Valley, but I don't know. Yeah, right.
right. I don't think there's any way that we're getting like a brand new Fire Emblem that we've never heard of before the second half of the year, basically. It might get announced, but
I haven't seen the Triangle game. I'll look that up.
Triangle Strategy. It's the new one run by the Octopath Traveler team. And,
Oh, okay.
It's very good so far. It's a Final Fantasy Tactics made by Octopath Traveler team,
Okay.
which is like
I'll-
yes.
I'll look into that.
If I could have hope beyond hope, I want something new Xenoblade. I want Xenoblade Chronicles X
Wait a minute.
on Switch. That's what I want. We got Xenoblade Chronicles 1 definitive. Give me Xenoblade Chronicles X on Switch, please.
Yeah.
But we'll see.
All right.
The other announcement is a brand new game called Warhammer 40K Chaos Gate. That's not how that word's spelled, Trey. Chaos Gate.
Chaos. Yeah. Chaos. There you go.
There we go. This is a really interesting looking game because it should have happened a while back, but it's 40K XCOM.
You know what? I'm gonna go ahead and say it. I'm pretty sure the reason why this probably got a little more funding and everything, you just thank Henry Cavill for that.
Yeah, I'm sure. I lost the K as well. Oh no. Oh, I did. It's just Warhammer 40 right now. There we go. But no, it's a pretty interesting idea, I think, because it's Grey Knights versus demons. And so you're going to be using the Grey Knights, which are not like I was going to say they're not a super popular faction, but I guess they are. It's just that they're not focused on very much in a lot of the material. I wouldn't, if you took somebody that didn't know anything about 40K, they're not going to go, "Oh yeah, Grey Knights," you know?
Yeah.
So it's a little interesting to do that, but it looks good. It looks really good, so I'm excited for it. Obviously, I'll be playing it.
Who's putting this out? Do you know?
I don't know, but I can look it up.
I'll find out who's putting that out. That's gonna interesting because let's do that.
It is
Because it's an old IP, so I'm just kind of wondering who obviously they hired out to
Complex Game.
Complex Games.
I don't know what else they've worked on. Let me find out real quick.
Yeah, nothing comes to mind.
It is. Don't name your company stuff like this. You know how hard it is to Google Complex Games?
Yeah. There's all kinds of complex games, man.
Yeah, I started getting Stanley Parable and Superliminal, and it's like, it's not what I'm looking for. All right, I found their website. Their website is non-existent.
Okay.
I'm gonna take a screen cap of this.
All right.
And I'm gonna drag it over where everybody can see it. Hold on. This is what I'm looking at for their website.
All right then. I guess it's probably. I guess maybe they're brand new.
That does not fill me with confidence.
Not really. No. See, we have to see.
We'll see.
Everybody's working on the game. Nobody's working on the website.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Yeah. Why would you gotta focus on the game? There's an indie game that was released in October on Switch called A. Literally cannot find it. SEO. Yeah. Be careful what you name your stuff. Come on. Think about it. Think
Yeah.
about it. But I want to play this. It looks interesting.
Right on.
See.
Very good. Very good.
From there, it's news time.
Yes. So, this first one here.
We created
another remake.
We brought this
Yes, we
into
did.
existence.
Yes, we spoke this into existence last week. But there's going to be a Last Unicorn live action remake. And there's not much information on this right now.
Right.
The production company is Beagleverse. And Peter Beagle has done some Last Unicorn, like other stories and everything.
Right.
And I would actually be surprised. I know it's called a remake. I'd actually be surprised if it was a straightforward adaptation. I think
Right.
it may take on some different forms. Yeah, like Snoopy. I don't know. I'm going to keep an eye on this because they've been wanting to make a live action since like 2008.
Right.
And there's like Christopher Lee was going to work on it. Back at that time, Christopher Lee's name was on it. And I think Mia Farrow was too.
Really?
Who voiced the unicorn in the first one. To kind of guest and cameo as a couple of things, but it obviously never went through. But it seems to have some good backing right now. So, we'll see. I'll try to keep up with that and get some more information, like when they start casting and stuff, to see what direction that's going.
I'm tentatively excited, not for the movie, I'm going to be honest with you, but for whatever variation of the song they do. I just want to hear, like, it's either going to be amazing or it's going to be terrible. There is no other option.
no other options. That's it. That's the way it's going to be.
But I love that song, so,
Yeah. Well, we'll see. That's one of the things about your animation. The animation from Last Unicorn is groundbreaking.
Yeah.
And we've talked about that last week. We talked about what that animation went on to.
Right.
And I think it holds. And of course, yes, you have the soundtrack by the band America.
Right.
That is just, this iconic goes along with it. So I don't know. It'll be interesting to see what they do with it. Like I said, the production company that has it, Beagleverse, is, I do know for a fact they know the material through and through.
Right.
The two main people that are running it. So we'll see.
Could be good.
Yeah.
Could be Train to Boston.
Yeah.
This is another weird thing too that has happened. This happened today.
Yeah.
Bandai Namco Filmworks has been created.
This is weird. Oh yeah.
And it's not just Bandai Namco Filmworks. It's not like they just went, "Hey, we're going to make a studio for movies, TV shows." There's a lot that could be done here, and Bandai Namco has for many years outsourced their games, their stories to a bunch of different type of studios to be able to make movies and anime and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
That's not why this is big news.
Hey,
no
Dark.
Worries, Dark. No worries. Oh, I'm so sorry.
Hey, Dark. Sorry, Dark.
Yeah, I'm so sorry.
Sit back, relax. We'll do the talking.
For sure. The fact that Bandai Namco is making their own studio is not the big news here, because that's whatever, right? They've been outsourcing for a long time. It's the fact that they bought Sunrise.
Mm-hmm. Boy, there's a lot of mergers going on lately.
Yeah.
I watched it. I watched it. So it's a little bit wet.
So for anybody who doesn't know, Sunrise is the studio behind things like Gundam, Code Geass, Love Live. They've made a lot of stuff over the years. And they didn't just get Sunrise animation. They also got Sunrise music. They own all of that now, which means Bandai Namco before had partnerships with Sunrise, right? Now basically owns the studio. And they've said that they're going to allow Sunrise to continue making stuff as they were, why break it if it's not, or why fix it if it's not broken? Why break it if it's working?
Right.
Let them do their thing. But now they own the studio, so they can make whatever they want. And so most likely what this means is we'll have Gundam still coming out, but then we'll also get stuff like Scarlet Nexus. There was rumors of Bandai wanting to do a Scarlet Nexus anime. The Tales shows, or the Tales games for a long time have gotten animes,
Yeah. And I think this will really allows Bandai Namco to do, like, man, you can do crossovers with the Gundam show and the game. That's really, and look, I can't think of another IP that would work better to have a crossover between game and cartoon.
Well, and
So
they're
hopefully
already,
they do it right.
You want more Gundam? Bring the old ones again? Yeah, maybe they already do a lot of stuff, but they were having to. It's almost like the studio was having to, like, shake hands through a window instead of through a door, because like Bandai Namco owned the Gunpla runners to be able to make the model kits, and Sunrise had to work with them to get those put out. Then you had Bandai Namco would want to make a Tales anime for like Tales of the Abyss, and so they would go to Sunrise to get them to make it. But it was never we're working together. It was always we're going to pay you to do this service. And so now it's literally just like now they can just be in the same office as compared to having to work through a window. And Bandai Namco just launched more of the card game that works in arcades in Japan. So it's a really good time for them to go ahead and make this purchase.
Yeah.
Scarlet Nexus got its anime. It spoils major plot points like episode 1. Oh no, what are you doing? 0079 original Gundam would be great to get like a re-release on Blu-ray. I have part 1 Blu-ray. That's it. So, yeah. It's really interesting. Also, I just want to point out that they are using the white base office, which if you've never seen First Gundam, that means nothing to you. But if you have, you're like, yeah, I see what you're doing. So they're also Bandai Namco also is bringing in Emotion and 2 other brands into it, but they haven't announced what those other 2 are going to be. Emotion is another animation studio that also does a lot with music. So who knows what they got planned, but it could be cool to see some of Bandai Namco properties get, animes.
Yeah. Man, I don't know, man. There's a lot, like I said, there's a lot of mergers, a lot of partnerships going on right now. This one seems, this one, is just intriguing to me, of what they'll be able to do. As this multimedia empire now. So,
well, like, just as a reference for anybody that doesn't know, Bandai Namco has a bunch of games coming out this year already, but their Elden Ring, Bandai Namco is producing that. Dot Hack is getting another game this year. Bandai Namco owns the game rights to that, but not the anime rights, so it could be they're looking to try and buy the anime rights too. Digimon Survive is still coming this year. Bandai Namco owns the game rights to Digimon, but doesn't own the anime rights. Again, this studio has a lot of anime games that they own the rights to. They just don't own the anime rights. Now they own an anime studio. So, Yeah, Dot Hack GU Last Recode is coming to the Switch. I don't yet know release date for the US, but I believe it comes out like 4 months from now in Japan, I think.
I wonder if we'll get that 6-week delay, or if they're just going to put it off till much later.
Very good question. I think Recode, like, correct me if I'm wrong, Dark, but like the old Recode games, like Last Recode was 2017 for consoles, right? Oh, yeah. No, this is just a port of Recode. And then I believe the original Code games were like PS2. So like Last Recode coming out in 2017 was a big thing. So I don't know, maybe the Switch release, because the Switch is like the console in Japan. Maybe the Switch release will lead to some more stuff. We shall see. Just a really strange thing that came up that I thought was pretty cool. And speaking of like anime and anime studios, the Trails of Cold Steel anime has been given a name. It's
Okay.
Trails of Cold Steel Northern War. And it's also been delayed.
The
So go ahead.
This is got weird backing.
Yes.
Because you got User Joy Technology, right? They're
Right.
putting a bunch of money into it. This they made Akatsuki no Kisuke,
Yeah.
Kisuke, right? The gotcha game. Then Funimation,
Yep.
who are backing it, and they're probably going to be the ones that have strict streaming
Most
licensing for
likely.
this.
Most likely.
Let's do that. And then you've got SYOU, which is just an IP investment company out of Osaka. And then you got Nada Holdings, which is another. They're a content business company. That's
Right.
what they call themselves. But yeah, they just basically invest in stuff. And what worries me about this, because I know I don't know the games, but I know the fan base is loyal and loves these. A huge fan base for this. Um, the problem is because it's gonna be U.S. licensing, and a couple of these companies have U.S. licensing. They're gonna be more. They are legally obligated to their shareholders, their stockholders, the ones that
Right.
back this, and I hope they let it be what it is,
Yeah.
instead of trying to keep going to test audiences, especially because you just keep going to test audiences that don't know the game and change
Right.
it up to make it something that it's not.
It
But I'm
also isn't what we were
close.
originally told it was going to be. We were originally told it was going to be an anime that covered the entirety of Cold Steel. So Cold Steel 1,
Hmm.
Cold Steel 2, Cold Steel 3, Cold Steel 4.
Hmm.
That's not what this is. This is a series detailing the stuff that happens after Cold Steel 2 and before Cold Steel 3. So basically, in Cold Steel 2,
Yeah.
at the end of Cold Steel 2, there is a war that happens in the north. I'm avoiding specific area names for anybody that hasn't played those.
Mm.
And the characters from Cold Steel 2, a couple of those characters are drawn into that war. And it's a pretty harsh thing on those characters. It's very rough on them. And so by the start of Cold Steel 3, those characters have changed because of the events of the Northern War. This anime is now going to show those, and I'm worried. It could be great. It could be wonderful to fill in that information. Or
It,
it
it
could
could be Rogue
vastly
One, it could be
right.
Solo, or it could be Solo, right?
Right. It could vastly undersell
Yep. Then yes.
the events of the Northern War and what it did to those characters to just be a cool anime.
Mm.
And I hope that's not what it is, but you know, I hope that it actually like does it justice because they
Yeah.
specifically don't show us that stuff in Cold Steel 2 or 3 on purpose. It's supposed to
Right.
be a thing that you read in papers and that the characters don't want to talk about, you know?
Yeah.
Another thing that worries me about it is that it's going to have an original heroine. It's not going to be told from the perspective of the characters we know. And that could be
Mm.
good. It could, because you're selling these events that the characters don't like to talk about. It could be
Yeah.
good to show it from a different perspective, or it could not be. And we'll
Okay.
see.
Yeah. I hope maybe not. Maybe not. We'll have to see for sure. Ugh.
But I love Trails. Trails of Cold Steel. It's
Yeah.
not my favorite of the trilogy, but Trails of Cold Steel 4 is an incredible game. Trails of Cold Steel 3 is an incredible game. And, you know, I hope this is good. I'll put it that way. Because I'm going to watch it for sure.
Right on, man. Well, like I said, time. One of those things, time will tell.
Yeah.
I hope they stay true. Well,
And speaking of time will tell,
uh,
Platinum Games is changing direction.
mm,
Very nervous about this.
moving to games as a service model. So,
Yeah.
tell me you want a subscription service without telling me you want a subscription service.
So the exact quote is the president, the new president, because we talked about how the president changed over. wants games
Yeah,
that
they
can
don't
be
find out.
enjoyed and loved for a longer period of time.
Mm-hmm. Well,
And
long time I want to play games more.
the reason I say this must be games as a service is because Platinum Games are the people that made Nier Automata. They're the people
Bayonetta.
that made Bayonetta. They're the people that made Vanquish. Games that have incredibly long, like, shelf lives, basically. Of like, these games, people still talk about them now. People love Bayonetta. People rave about Nier
Mm-hmm.
Automata, you know? Uh,
Yeah.
he can't mean just games that people still play. Because people still play those games all the time. He has to mean games as a service. Also, I
That's it.
understand Waverly for sure.
Yeah, and like I said, tell me you want a subscription service without telling me you want a subscription service, and this
Yeah.
is the way you do it. Want longer games like that? This is it's industry speak,
Yeah,
right?
it
That's
is.
that whole letter is that whole thing is industry speak, and yeah. So I'll be looking, I look for this company, Platinum Games, to follow the lines of like EA or
Yeah.
um, with their EA All Access, and I think Ubisoft even has a version of it. A few different things. So,
This is the studio that made Metal Gear Rising.
hmm
How do they not, like, their games have so much, the memes for Metal Gear Rising will always exist. That game is in the back of the collective consciousness. If somebody goes rules of nature and you've played that game, the song plays in your head, you know? Like that it bothers me so much to go from, yeah, we make some of the greatest games that have ever been made that people still play all the time. Well, we
yeah,
just want people to play our games longer.
that's not what they're saying. They want people. The
Yeah.
new president wants people to to pay while playing the games longer.
Yeah.
Uh,
I just want, like you said, Dark, I just want games. Just give me a game.
yeah, these are. I don't. You don't have to. Not every IP has to be an MMO.
Right.
They've got some classic games there that people slap down their dollars, took home,
Yep.
and enjoyed. Some for a few hours, some for a few months. So, what
Look,
is it?
I'd cover that game on the channel. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, absolutely.
I love the characters in Nier Automata, so that's why. No, it just, for me, it's, if any other studio had said this, I'd have been like, okay, I see where they're coming from. Like, it's the standard for the industry, right? But it's the studio that made some of the fan favorite games across the world, and they're just gonna throw all that goodwill away.
Yeah.
I'll put it this
hmm
way: this is my love for the studio, and it's why this hurts so much. I bought an Xbox One when Scalebound was announced because Platinum was making it. Scalebound never came out. I bought a console for a game that was never released because Platinum was making it.
Yeah. He's bad.
Yeah. Oh, I wanted
Yeah.
Scalebound so bad. So
Yeah.
bad. So,
And what she's done.
in an effort, yeah, memes, man. In an effort to, move on from that to things that are better, we've, as we said before, we expanded the podcast this year to not just cover video games. We cover tabletop, we cover movies, we cover TV shows, anime, all that fun stuff. That means that when a new 40K box gets revealed, and when they drop some chapter approved stuff, I get to talk about it for a minute.
Hmm Let fly, sir.
So, Eldritch Omens is the new box. It's going to be some brand new sculpts for Eldar that look really nice, and some chaos stuff. If you already have a chaos army, this box is probably not going to matter to you because it's a bunch of new sculpts, but it's not a lot of points, and it's got a Forge Fiend in it that if you have a chaos army, you probably already have a Forge Fiend. But if
This is a
you're,
starter set.
it's a starter set. Later, well, if you're looking to collect some stuff and
Later.
you want to start Eldar or you want to start Chaos, this is a great start.
Hmm?
$200, just as usual for these boxes, but brand new Eldar sculpts with some really cool looking Chaos sculpts, and again a Forge Fiend. So
Nice.
pretty nice. And then the chapter approved was also announced. This is where they change up some points. Pictures lots of dragon stuff on your Twitter. Nice. Dragons are awesome.
They are.
Bunch of new rules. Unfortunately, this is one of the things that I wanted to talk about with you to get your opinion on this. If you want these new rules, you got to pay for them. $20 to get the chapter approved patch for the rules.
Okay, I'm not. The chapter approved is the group that sets the rules, and haven't the rules always been free?
No, the rules aren't free either. You got to buy the rule book.
I always thought the basic fighting rules were free for maybe that was just the
No, because you need the data sheets to be able to play.
went through.
However, it's not just the patch. It's not like it's $20 for just the patch. It's also a bunch of new mission types. It's a bunch of new terrain layouts and things like that.
Okay.
The changes, for what it's worth, because you can find them online if you don't want to pay for it, just to clarify.
Yeah.
The changes are pretty good. They nerfed a lot of point stuff so that people can have more varied armies because people were running a lot of the same stuff. So now a lot of transports cost less points to use. Trying to encourage people to use them more. And then they also dropped point cost on a lot of stuff that was a little too expensive.
So this is a little bit more than just some errata smoothing out of the rules.
This is you need this if you're going to tournaments.
Okay. That's not bad then.
They also changed some pretty interesting rules on how transports work and stuff like that to make things flow better in a game. They basically just put a bunch of work into trying to balance things because there were a couple forces that were too strong, and there was a lot of stuff that just wasn't worth using because why would you when it costs so much points to use? But Spiky Bits has a whole breakdown on it if you don't want to buy the book just to see the changes. I'm not going to link it, obviously, because I feel like that's kind of they want you to buy the book. But if you want to find it, it's there. I do want the book. I'm probably going to pick up the book because I want those new mission types. They look really cool. Because they're all tied into a brand new story that's happening in the game, which is Nakamund. I'm interested in that. And you get that story as well in this book. So you're paying for stuff. It's not just nothing.
Yeah.
But they also dropped a balanced data slate, which is free for everybody to download, which is hey, these are the rules that have to change right now. If you're at a tournament today, these are official today. This has to change right now, which is hey, we forgot to put the core keyword in a bunch of stuff. So if you're running an army, technically these units can't use any of your army abilities. So now they can. Now they just use it. Everybody was just kind of doing it anyway, because why wouldn't it be? But it's good that they did that for free. Dragons are perfection. Dragons are very.
Yeah.
That's your 40K update for the day.
Right on.
I kind of want that Eldritch Omens box because I don't have Chaos or Eldar, but also there's a new Kill Team box that got announced, or it hasn't been announced. It's been leaked. They put out a trailer for a faction, a new Kill Team faction that they're working on that looks really cool. And then in the link to go to the pre-order page, the URL has that faction versus another one. And so it's that's coming in a box. That's coming in a box. But I'm excited for it. I wanna collect some more stuff for Kill Team. I keep looking at my sister with the deal here and going
We'll see you try to paint that.
Gonna be interesting. What color do I paint the cherub, man? Do I paint it flesh colored or do I make it bone? I don't know. How am I gonna paint the chest that's inside there? How am I gonna do that?
Dark. Shh. So there's a couple of things. Yeah, I had no idea what he was talking about. Yes, it is a character holding it. Yes.
Yeah, she is a icon bearer from the Adeptus Sororitas. She shows up to the battlefield carrying that thing, and just makes everybody else better with an aura of faith around her.
Nice.
I don't know for sure what's in the box yet, in the chest, but I'm pretty sure it's the bones of a saint.
Oh, okay.
Because, like, the Sisters of Battle are like a group of war priestesses that, like, their faith literally strengthens them to the point where when you play them on the tabletop, you get miracle dice. Where when you roll something, if you roll a 6, you can bank it and go, all right, when I need this, I can just use this 6 later. So, pretty cool. You know, 40K.
Hey.
It's faith-based.
Oh, the now I look forward to the you paint some of those and actually putting the characters on the table.
Yeah. It's gonna be
Line them up. All right.
Speaking of putting stuff on the table, Deep Rock Galactic is making a board game.
Now this is on Kickstarter, yeah?
Yes.
Yeah, this is just getting going?
So it hasn't actually launched on Kickstarter yet, but it will be.
Oh, okay.
They're pre-announcing that they're going to be doing a Kickstarter for it. For anybody who doesn't know, Deep Rock Galactic is the game where you're space dwarves mining. You have to fight off bugs and robots and other stuff to be able to secure your ores. It's a pretty fun game. A lot better with friends than it is solo, but the solo game mode is pretty interesting. Board game could be cool. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, like I said, it's already got the aspect of, playing with a group, playing with others, like built into it.
Yeah.
So as long as the board game doesn't drag, I think it should be pretty good.
I think so too. I'm going to see if I can drag this over here from the I don't know. I say I'm going to see if I can drag it over here. I just realized I shouldn't because I don't actually know if I'm allowed to share the image that I was sent. Okay. For now, until the Kickstarter go live, we're just going to say, I think it looks cool. Press kits are great.
Right. Fair enough, sir. There will be a time.
Don't like the different people you can play as. There's not a clear good guy and bad guy. There's only a clear bad guy. Yeah. So that's the thing. That's what I personally like about 40K is that nobody's good. They're all terrible. It makes it where no matter who you're playing as, they think they're the good guy, and so they're the good guy, right? But
yeah,
I think this could be cool. This board game, we'll see. It's coming at some point on Kickstarter, and hopefully I'll have more stuff to talk about. But it'll be 1 to 4 players.
Okay.
Next up from there, we have Genshin Impact. We don't really cover a lot of Genshin Impact news on here, but this time it's led to some controversy.
Really?
Yeah.
Really? All right.
I understand for sure.
Yeah.
So Genshin Impact announced their newest character, Kamisato Ayato. He's the brother of Kamisato Ayaka.
I'm sure there is. Roll 34 for Genshin Impact, definitely.
And they not only did they announce this guy, but they announced his weapon. They announced his type. He is going to be a 5-star Hydro Sword user. We don't really know anything else about him, but that's not why people are upset. I would like you to attempt to guess, and I guarantee you it won't be the reason you think. But why do you think, I'm going to show him on screen here.
Okay.
Why do you think people are mad that this guy has been announced? Apparently I caught an ad in that screenshot. Whoops.
Let's see that right there. I don't know. I can't. He looks pretty typical anime type,
Right.
Oh, I don't want to say generic, but I mean,
Yeah. He is the good guy, right? The nice guy, right?
Sorry.
No, I laughed at it too. The reason people are upset is because he doesn't look like the fan art. So this character was spoken of by his sister, who's been playable for quite a while. Like 6 months ago, basically, this character was being spoken of. and people had started drawing fan art of him.
Yeah.
And they didn't know what he looked like. There was no explanation for what he looked like in the game at all. But
Oh, man.
I'm gonna drag a couple of examples here of what people expected. This is some fan art that was drawn before he was ever announced to even ever be playable. He doesn't look like that, of course, because why would he?
N- hold on. He does kind of look like that.
Well, that's the problem, right? He does, but he doesn't look exactly like that, and people are upset. And there's a lot of people that do like comics and stuff like that, and they've had him show up there, and he's
Yeah.
just not that guy, right? Here's another example of what people thought he might look like. But again, they made that on their own. There was no official like reasoning or no official description given.
That's just that is so silly. That is absolutely ridiculous. You put good work. You did wonderful work on the fan art, and I'm kind of wondering, is this the artist's,
Throwing a
or is
fit.
yeah, throwing a fit, or
I
is the
think it
artist
probably.
like, or is it
Sorry, I didn't
just
mean to interrupt you.
no? I'm just wondering if it's just the people that are fans of the artist.
It might have started with the artist, but it definitely gained some traction. But I want to bookend this with some good. I want to show you a fan art that was done by Machavi on Twitter. That is after the announcement, showing that again, once the character's announced, make all the fan art you want, because this piece is incredible.
All right.
And it's not going to load. So let me do it this way instead. They have a Danburu. I will download it and then I will link it in the chat for anybody that wants to go there.
Hmm.
Just because again, you should credit your artists, you know. There's their
Yeah.
Danburu. And then I will show that image here real quick. There we go. Look at how good that looks.
Yeah.
Because again, once the character's revealed, you can make art that fits the character, you know?
Yeah. And like they're it's fan art.
Yeah.
You know, you take your best guess, you do some cool stuff, you have some wonderful ideas with it, but at the end of the day, you're not the right. The you're not the creator, you're not the
Right.
originator of this. So
And
yeah, that's a ridiculous argument.
don't get upset
Absolutely.
if the official version doesn't look like
No,
you thought he would, you know?
no.
Well, and like of all
No.
the things, there were people that were mad when Ito was announced because Ito doesn't have the abs that he does in the official art. His abs aren't quite as defined as they are in the official art. That's still a dumb reason in my mind to get mad, but I understand that better than, well, he doesn't look like what I thought he would look.
All right. Well,
So
goodness.
now we get to cover all that fun stuff when that happens. Finally, this is just a little thing, but Microsoft might be having some monopoly issues.
Yeah,
Do not
they'll be
pass
going.
go. Do not pass. Do not collect $200.
Yeah, they got there's some antitrust complaints against them with the purchase of Activision Blizzard, and I think I would look into this, and I think it's because the purchase is so big, they're getting so many IP addresses that it's almost a knee jerk reaction, right?
Yeah.
Like just we're gonna work this out. I'm not sure if anything's there or not, but we need to look into it. And so I think that's what was gonna be.
Yeah.
I think they should be mad that they stole the idea. Yeah, absolutely, they would be. So this will develop. I don't know. I think with the this is one of the reasons why they gave a year and a year and a half to finalize
Yeah.
sale, because I think Microsoft. I think they realize right the and I think one of the things is that they do. Tencent is huge.
Yeah.
Uh,
For
Tencent's
sure.
not an American company, so it's a little bit different on that. But I think it's a little bit of a knee jerk reaction. I don't. I think the sale will go through. I think there'll be
Yeah,
some questions and stuff looking at it. Uh, uh, they're not. I don't think this will be stuff. It's kind of interesting though because this is not a company. You know, there's been a lot of scrutiny of Google and a lot of the Silicon Valley uh, companies, right? The Alphabet,
yeah,
and about monopolies and things like that. But Microsoft hasn't been brought up really that I can remember until this,
yeah,
and had it. So it'll be interesting. This purchase has definitely brought a lot of light onto Microsoft company, and a lot of people are going to look at it a little bit closer.
for sure.
I don't think the sale will be. I think the sale will go through, but it is kind of interesting that it's making news right now and popping
Yeah,
up, especially with all the other mergers that are taking place.
for sure.
Because we talked about Sony last week and in a couple of days, so we will have to
Yeah.
see how it goes. But
Okay.
yeah,
Well, I believe that now we would begin the plugs. But before the plugs, you have
yeah,
any interesting?
I do, I do. I got a couple of things. I got a warning. One happy birthday to Bethany Hamilton, the pro surfer.
Okay.
If you remember the movie Soul Surfer, she was the one that was attacked by a shark. She's a one-armed surfer. It's her birthday today. I
Dragons
got
are
a
good. Though.
warning. Like, listen, hold on. I got a warning I got to put out because not sometimes people get away with stuff, and I got to tell you something about Johnny. Uh,
Okay.
I, yeah, I do not condone thievery, and Johnny, a ginger, Johnny is a ginger thief. And I'll try to explain to you a little about Johnny here. Came a call, and her husband were moving into a new apartment in Ferny Hills near Brisbane, Australia.
Okay.
When Johnny hopped over the fence, looking for some head pats and some scratches, some chin scratches. It became a daily encounter, but as the visit continued, they began to notice an accumulation of items in their yard. And it wasn't long before they caught Johnny in the act. Turns out the orange visitor was bringing more than affection than neighborliness. Johnny had left in the yard several old socks, a school t shirt, and a lot of toys, eventually leaving the McCalls with a table full of stolen loot. They did what they had to do, all right? They posted a picture on the Facebook of the pirate kitty and the loot that they had left with them. Turns out dozens of people reported that they had been visited by the pirate kitty and some even recognized some of the plundered items. He instantly became infamous. Eventually, the McCalls tracked down the pirate cat's loving owners, and established that no, he wasn't a vagabond. He had a home, it was nearby, but the family could not stop his exploits. Between the owners and the McCalls, they worked together to help Pirate Kitty find a new home, since it was impossible for them to ensure the safety of the universe.
Right.
A local resident named Ingrid Moyle, who regularly fostered stray animals, she had recently lost some family members and said she had the power and will to keep the Pirate Kitty. Now, look, it was she did manage to turn Pirate Kitty into an indoor cat.
Yeah.
But ending the chronic thievery was all but impossible. And now, Pirate Kitty, who was originally named Johnny, who Miss Moyle renamed Kylo, steals from the box of toys that she had up for the foster animals she's had over the years, and places them on her bed as she tries to sleep. So not only has Pirate Kitty got away with his thievery, but now he has his own personal victim. I just wanted to put that out there as a tale of warning.
Yeah, be careful.
Yeah, watch out for gingers.
Paw strikes again and again.
Yes. Oh, but
All right.
yeah,
I like that. That's good. That's good. Plug wise, just again finished Endwalker, so all those dungeons will be coming out now. I'll have all that stuff recorded, and then after that, it'll be Game of the Year stuff. We'll be rolling that out. I know it's late, but finish Endwalkers. Now we can talk
Yeah.
about it.
Did you actually play the games you're going to put on it?
Yeah. I wish
Ah,
that I was stronger so that I could finish Echoes of the Eye, because I think the first half of that DLC is really good, but I can't force myself through the dark anymore without a torch. I just can't do it. It's so aggravating.
I would never force myself through the dark. I would get consent first.
I could probably look up a guide on YouTube to where exactly you need to go, like this
Yeah.
many steps this way. But look, I could be riding around on the back of mountains in Pokemon and switching between land and sea and having a great time.
Yeah, I want you to. I definitely want you to finish that game. I do. I want to hear how it wraps up. But just because it's such a different thing for Pokemon to do, right?
It is.
Absolutely weird. It's
Yeah.
just a different game going through
I'm
that.
enjoying it. I want all Pokemon games to be like this now, and I know there's some people that are like, well, no, but like, look,
Yeah.
this is fun.
I do. I do have a new song up on Rumble. You can look at
Yeah.
Rungren on Rumble. Once again, there is a complete lack of entertainment on that site, and in a small way, change that. So if you let me up there, give me a watch. I would really, really appreciate it.
Yeah.
I want to thank everybody that's been with us this past couple of hours. And look, you know how I feel about you. It's taken millions and millions of people and thousands of years to make you. There's never been anything like you. There never will be again. And I appreciate you spending this time with us so much.
Absolutely. Yeah, if you want to see more stuff that we do, check us out on YouTube. Support us on Patreon to get in the Discord. We always have more content coming out. So
Yeah.
we'll be back Thursday with the D&D podcast.
Yes, we will.
Got some stuff to talk about there, so please look forward to that. And until next time, I've been Trey.
I've been Rungren.
We've been the Full Spectrum Podcast. Remember to always enjoy the full spectrum that life has to offer.